Героїчний народи України. Іде 26-й день війни.
Heroic people of Ukraine, the 26th day of the war is underway. Having failed all plans to occupy Ukraine, the Russian aggressor is resorting to outright genocide of the civilian population of Ukraine. Just during the last 2 days, the enemy dropped air bombs on the House of Arts in Mariupol. It shelled from tanks a nursing home in the Luhansk region.
В Тростянці, що на Сумщині, окупанти кинули бойову гранату в цивільних людей. В Києві атакували з повітря торговий центр, де переховувались цивільні люди.
In Trostenka, in Sumy region, occupiers threw a combat grenade at civilians. A shopping mall in Kiev, where civilians were hiding, was attacked from the air. Millions of Ukrainians were forced from their homes because of the war. Millions have lost their homes. This is the reality that the civilized world sees.
Які вимушено покинули свої домівки через бойові дії. Уряд сьогодні цю програму реалізовує. Гроші, робота, житло – 3 основні напрямки, які охоплює ця програма.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced a large-scale program to help Ukrainians who were forced to leave their homes because of hostilities. The government is implementing this program today. Money, jobs and housing – 3 main areas covered by this program. First, the money. The state will pay every displaced person in Ukraine a minimum monthly payment of 2,000 hryvnias, simply via Diia, to a bank card, without unnecessary paperwork, without bureaucracy, for all those who moved from areas of active hostilities. Also, 3,000 hryvnias will be paid for each child who had to move to safer regions because of the war, because of all these horrors. The second are jobs. We begin a program of employment for all displaced persons. To do this, the state begins payments to those employers who employ internally displaced persons from the affected regions. 6,500 hryvnias for every employed person. These funds will be spent by employers to pay these workers. Once again, I would like to appeal to entrepreneurs. The state supports you in your desire to continue working where it's possible. Full deregulation of business, simplification of the tax system, affordable credits. Now the state takes over a part of expenses for salaries for people who need work, for those who are displaced. So let's work. I urge everyone to start working, to host people, to provide them with jobs and positions.
Третє. Житло. Тиждень тому уряд вже прийняв рішення про механізм компенсації.
The third are the housings. A week ago, the government already decided on a mechanism of compensation for utility payments to communities that provide free shelter to displaced persons in schools, kindergartens, cultural centers and community facilities. Now we are supplementing the program so that the compensation for utility payments will also be received by the families hosting the displaced persons in their homes. All those who responded to the trouble, gave a roof to the displaced, provided free shelter, will receive 450 hryvnias per month for each person who was helped, for compensation of public utilities. All 3 programs have already been approved by the Ukrainian government. Their implementation begins today, on the March the 21st, with the registration of temporarily displaced persons by territorial communities and administrative services centers. On March the 30th, registration through Diia mobile app will start. And when the war is over, we will rebuild everything, every house and every apartment, every building, and everyone will be able to go home. But each of those who found shelter, jobs and everything they needed to live during this difficult time will forever hold in their hearts the memory and gratitude of the hospitable communities and people. We will not forget it either. Glory to the Ukrainians and glory to Ukraine.